Oh, excuse me. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. My next guest, she's been with us a couple of times before. She's lovely, and she is in 2 films which are playing right now, one called The Outfit and The Laughing Policeman, and she just finished one with George C. Scott called The Bank Shot. Would you welcome Joanna Cassidy? Just a simple little daytime frock. Now, the way they used to advertise that, a simple daytime frock? Is that an old-fashioned word?
Frock?
Yeah, that's what they used to say.
You know, if I cut my hair off, I'd feel like Samson. I mean, it's really true that hair gives you a tremendous sense of power and
Did you always wear your hair that length?
No, I've had it much longer, this, all the way down to my, well, there. And it's a little bit shorter now, but it's I've always worn it sort of full, you know, to get that sort of lionessy.
You do look somewhat like a lioness. Yes, you do. Yeah. Simba. Heel.
Donna, Simba.
Do you like men with long hair? If my hair was down to here and over the ears, what do you think?
I'd like you anyway. I'd like you anyway.
Well, you don't know. I may look like an idiot with it down here. See, I'm very conservative, strangely enough. You know, as Mike Orson says, if it starts to come over my ears a little bit,
Yes, Jane Wyman.
and I used to start to let it come over. Penny Singleton, it was for me. Jane Wyman for you.
Singleton.
I always look like Penny Singleton.
Yeah. Better to look like Jane Wyman than Penny Singleton, I think.
You may be right, but I've never been able to let it go, and a lot of fellas have.
No, but now I notice the very new look is this short kind of thing, you know, the shorter hair. I guess the Gatsby thing is coming in. I kind of like
Do you
it.
like that look? They're certainly trying hard to get everybody to go back to the 1920s, aren't they? And the Gatsby look with the gowns and the look. It's not really working, is it? People aren't buying it.
I think it's very important for men and women to maintain a singular attitude about their clothing. You know, like, you know, wear whatever feels good, how they feel comfortable.
Now, do you feel comfortable if you had your druthers outside of you on television? How would you dress? You look to me like you'd like to put on a sweatshirt and a pair of jeans.
Well,
That's the way you might feel comfortable.
yeah, it all depends. Like, you know, we were at the Friars Club together.
That's
Or
right.
that
That's
is
the
we were
Rickles
there.
roast.
Right, and
You were on the dais that night.
that's right. And I dressed up, you know, in that elegant dress, and I felt good for a while, but then I really couldn't wait to get it off.
Simba. What you're saying is you felt a little, what are you saying, as a matter of fact? Let's pursue this, wherever it may lead.
No,
You're blushing a little bit.
yes, I am.
You're blushing a little bit. In other words, you felt more comfortable in more casual clothes, or what?
Yeah,
I thought women like to dress up and go out. Or is that just too big a generality?
No, I think there's a certain amount of time that I like to spend in fancy clothes, but there's always something that I do to keep it down. Yeah.
How's your butterfly collection? Notice how I took that segue? And she collects, you're a, what's the correct term? Lepidopterist.
It's a lepidopterist.
A lepidopterist.
Right.
Would you have known that, Orson?
No, and I wouldn't care either.
Yes, well, she is a lepidopterist. She collects and mounts Well, isn't that the correct term? You mount a butterfly?
That's right.
Very gingerly, I might add. But that's what they do, don't they? I don't know. Well, of course you do.
No, that's right, you do.
And she's been at this since she was a little child, and has quite a very varied collection of butterflies. It's a very valuable collection, too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
True.
I collected lots of specimens from different...
There's one now. We got a fly in here.
Yeah.
Watch her, she'll grab it.
Don't you say what I'll do with it.
See, I know so little about butterflies, and really don't care to know too much. Because I don't know what I'd do with that kind of information.
Do you know the fact that the monarch butterfly, I always thought, it's Vincent Price.
I know there's something... Where is it? It's on my forehead. You see it?
Oh, it's terrible.
What is it?
It's
Very sleepy.
A sleepy fly. Well, it's fitting right in tonight. Even the fly is getting bored. Oh, crap. Had to fly in this studio. What is it, Fred? White. That's very good. Now can we see the other finger? That means that we have to do a commercial. Then we'll come back, and there goes the fly right there. We have
going up to sit in the audience.
That's right. See if it looks better up there. Oh, good. Give me that. That's what we need. We'll restore order around here promptly. we'll have a word from one of our sponsors. There's the little bugger now. We'll be right back. Hi there. Hope you're having as much fun at home as we are here in the studio. And probably are having a lot more fun. Orson brought up a rather interesting subject about dying while we're sitting here talking. What did this have to do with butterflies, or?
I don't know. It really isn't about butterflies, but it's one of the most fascinating articles I've ever read, and it's in the current either Time or Newsweek, I think Newsweek. And it's this guy is writing a book, and he advertised to be in touch with people who had thought they were going to die, not from a lingering illness or something, but guys who fell off a cliff, people who thought they were drowning and there was no hope. And
who didn't die, you mean?
But who didn't die at the last minute, but they had resigned themselves to dying. In every case, they went through 3 stages. The first one was a fury that they didn't want to die, and they struggled, and they had like a superhuman strength, like this guy that fell 30 stories and landed on a washcloth or something and didn't die. But as he passed the 17th floor,
You said so far, so good.
Right.
The definition of an optimist, right, okay. An old joke I happen to remember, but go
And the
ahead.
guy yelled out the window, "Cut velvet!"
Yes.
Anyway, as he passed the 17th story, like, he was fighting, then he gave up and realized that he was going to die and had no future, so their past actually passes before them, but in a very pleasurable way. All of them said that they remembered wonderful things that happened to them. Time slowed down so that they had plenty of time to think. Then there was a third step, which was absolute euphoria. There was no hope, there was no fight, there was no need to fight. They surrendered, and they suddenly felt at one with nature. They had visions of heaven. They saw the sky as blue as it had ever been. And it reminded me
I had
that
the same
tonight...
feeling during the monologue. I was fighting, then I said, hey, we're gonna go. Then euphoria, that it was all over. That was a good analogy.
You gave up, yes, and
You
enjoyed
you ever had that fear that something's gonna happen to you?
No.
Oh. Oh, it kind of ends that subject right there, doesn't it?
What happened to your euphoria?
Yes, all of a sudden disappeared. What else you want to talk about tonight? Anything? How was working with George C. Scott? You just finished the movie with him, and he's probably one of the finest actors in the world.
He's a very interesting man. I met him.
He's kind of a loner, isn't he?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. We identified well in that way.
Are you a loner?
I understood him. Yeah. Yeah, but not yet. I mean, he's gotten to the point where he can go off and do whatever he wants. And it's okay if he goes off in his trailer and stays alone and then comes out and does his scenes. Right now, I like to socialize. I like to play with everybody,
This crowd is a seamy bunch tonight.
No, but, it was funny. When I first met him after he did Uncle Vanya, I went backstage and I spoke with him. I think he thought of me as similar to Colleen Dewhurst, because she was a large woman, and she had a tremendous laugh. She just laughed from her toes.
You have a big gutsy laugh.
Yes, I've been told. It's big.
Yeah, she gets going and she cackle and yeah, it's one of those. One of those jobs. There we go. See, there it goes. Oh, God.
We could do this all night. No, but he was wonderful.
Show me socks. No, we talked about that last time. I thought you were joking. She wears socks for everything. Here's a woman wearing a lovely long evening dress. Do you think she'd have a body stocking? She's wearing a pair of socks.
Well, they're pretty socks is what
Oh,
they are.
they're pretty socks, yeah, but what's your thing with socks?
Well, that was when I started getting into that, when I said
Yeah.
that whenever I dress up, I always sort of wear something to keep me down.
Oh, I see, to keep the
You know,
comfortable
because-
and dress down a little bit.
Well, not just down necessarily, but sort of keep my attitude down.
Oh, I see.
Because the more flamboyant I dress, the more flamboyant I become, you see.
They
And
used
I
to
could-
call that a hair shirt.
That's right.
In the old days, you know, monks and people who were guilt-ridden would wear a hair
The
shirt.
self-inflicting type
It
of...
would hurt all the time, so that if they ever got too big for their robes or whatever they get too big for, they would remember the hair
I think it's
shirt.
robes.
But my socks don't hurt.
No, your socks don't hurt, but they remind you that you're just a little girl, even though George C. Scott saw you as a lusty woman.
Yes. Do you wear socks all the time?
Well, I got teased so badly after the last show that I
Oh,
wore
that's
them.
right.
I sort of stopped for a while, but now I'm confident again.
That's
I
right,
can go
sure.
back to my socks.
I shouldn't. You said you wore socks to bed and everything, and I shouldn't have brought that up at all. Huh?
That is very private. But
Yes, it is.
What?
I used to wear socks to bed. 14, 15. We have a message from the from the people at Sears. Yeah.